Home buyers in South Florida, you wanted less competition. You hoped for less competition. We are finally there, and we've been there for really 8, 10, 12 months. Picked up obviously in the spring, picked up after the first of the year, but undoubtedly there is less competition than there was, and that's only going to get better as we continue into the second part of the year. However, many people think prices are going to fall, the ceiling's going to fall out. Hasn't happened. Why? Because this is the least amount of homes that has been listed in the first 6 months of the year. Going back at least 20 years, we can't find a year with less homes listed. Let me show you that report right now. I want you to see this right here. First half of 2023, lowest number of homes listed in recorded history. This report here shows all the states that we're in. I'm going to scroll down up here in New England and down in Florida. I'm going to scroll down to South Florida, number of homes listed. Look at the line graph. This takes us back to 08. First half of the year, there's what, 57,000-ish homes listed for sale in South Florida. The lowest we've seen was what, early 2011 when it was closest. Now, I will tell you, it would be even lower if it wasn't for condos, and I'm going to explain why in a minute. But this constrained inventory is what is keeping prices from falling out. Let me elaborate on that. Let me show you what is going on here. Home sales down 25%. So just like I showed you, homes listed for sale is down. So isn't home sales down 25%. But the average prices is up by 0.1%. You can call that flat. Now, why is this happening? Why are the prices flat? Well, they're flat because back in the winter, they were a little bit lower than the winter before. As the season went on and things picked up and closings started coming through, prices lifted, okay? The demand is still there. The demand is not what it was 2 and 3 years ago anywhere in the country because rates are higher, okay? But there is demand still there. What we're lacking is home sellers listing. In particular, in the South Florida region, we're really lacking single family homes being listed, and I'm going to show you a report on that in a couple of minutes. Overall homes listed down 19%. People are holding on to their properties. Why are they doing that? In most cases, because they don't want to give up their interest rate. Their interest rate is 2.6%, 2.9%, 3%, 3.2%. And today, interest rate average nationally is 7%. So people are holding on. We saw this exact scenario in 1982. We've been studying it back. I was a baby then, but we've been studying back to that time, and it's clear as day that that's the last time it was this bad with people holding on to their homes. So let me show you. Average prices are flat, homes listed down, home sales down. This is a complete comprehensive report for all of South Florida. We're showing the different counties, we're showing by month what's going on, showing inventory, and also showing other reports on our monthly report. So to see our monthly reports with all the data that you can imagine, come back to me for a minute, you can log on to flrealestateupdates.com. In that report, we always look at homes listed, homes total for sale at a given moment, and we break apart single families and condos in particular in South Florida. Condos are definitely getting hit. I expect condo prices have dipped a little bit. I expect them to dip a bit more. Why? Because lots and lots of condo associations are doing special assessments. They're having to raise condo fees. And in most cases, it's warranted, folks. I'm sorry to tell you, but it's true. Condo fees have been too low for too long. Condo owners and trustees and management companies have been too lax about getting repairs and maintenance done. And mortgage companies, insurance companies, in the state of Florida, Governor DeSantis signed a bill a year ago. State of Florida all coming together saying we want more stricter rules. And Florida is a place that has a tremendous amount of condos, in particular along the water. There's a lot of towers in South Florida along the water. that is having an impact on pricing because it's causing more sellers to list. So even though with single families, there's more sellers that are saying, I'll hold on to my rate, even if my property's smaller than I like, I'll hold on because rates are too high. I don't want my mortgage payment to go up dramatically, okay? Condos, their special assessments going up so much, they're saying, I'll sell it. We're selling condos all over South Florida, from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Boca, West Palm, up to Port St. Lucie, and we're seeing it. So there's a little adjustment there. So if you're a seller, you've got to be realistic. You have to understand that with your condo fees going up and you wanting to sell because you don't like it, a buyer's not going to love it either. So be realistic when you list your condo for sale. Listen to what your realtor says, take their advice, look at the comparative properties in the area, and maybe even price a little bit lower. Really, the same goes for single families, but you don't have to be as tough on your pricing with single families, okay? Follow your realtor's advice. Look at the comparative properties in the area, especially if you're working with a Lamacchia realtor. Our Lamacchia realtors in South Florida are the best trained, best well-equipped realtors in South Florida, and they are prepared to do everything for you to sell your home for top dollar, and if they're representing you as a buyer, to do everything they possibly can to get you the best deal that they can. Let's look at some more data. I want to show you some of these reports. Take a look at this right here. This is homes listed by month in South Florida. Look at this. Listings are dramatically down, and I will tell you, they would be down even more like the rest of the country was if it wasn't for condos. Condo owners are experiencing some pressure. Many are caving and just saying, the hell with it, I'll sell it. Take a look at this. 9,100 homes listed for sale in South Florida in the month of June. That's down from, look at the colors, 2022, there was a lot. When rates went up, there was a lot of people that put their properties up for sale. 13,000 when they first went up. Now it's a lot less at 9,000. The market is stalled across the country. Less people are listing. But that doesn't mean prices are just falling out. So that's homes listed. Okay, I say listed with emphasis because I want you to understand that that's the amount actually put up for sale. Now take a look at this. This is active inventory of properties listed that are actually on the market. Look at the colors. Purple is 2022. We're pretty much flatlined. We're better than we were in 22, but in 23, sorry, I mixed the years up, we're pretty much running into the same thing. I mean, look at that. 23,380 homes listed for sale, actually on the market at the end of June in 2023. Same number in July of 2022. So we're in the same boat here. That is what is stopping prices from falling out. But let's have a look at prices. I'd like to talk to you about it. Average selling price per month for single families in South Florida, $974,000. Folks, I was sitting here doing updates with you all 3 years ago in the summer of COVID, talking about how prices, or the fall of COVID by the time I was doing them, talking about how prices were about 600,000. Look at this. Look at 2020. Average at this time, 600,000. Now we're at an average of 974,000 in June compared to over $1 million a year ago. If you look at the beginning of the year, February, March, April, prices were down compared to 22, obviously because of the extremely slow fall that we had across the country. But then they started to pick up again because things got busier. I expect this fall, prices will probably be similar to those of 22 or slightly lower. I think we're going through a bit of an adjustment here. And that's okay. That's a good thing. It makes things more affordable. It even makes things more affordable for those of you that are buying and selling. Yes, you may get a little less for your home, but what you pay, you'll also pay a little less too. Let's have a look at condos. Condo average prices, noticeably, undeniably lower than a year ago. Okay? Look at this, 529,000. Now, second part of the year, prices always dip a little, and folks, that's why I try to tell buyers the best time of year to buy is the second half of the year. Best time of year to sell is the first half. That's the case across the country. For some reason, only 10 to 20% of people actually listen to me. So you South Florida folks that are buying or selling, try to time it if you can. If you can. Take a look at this, 529,000, similar to a year ago. Overall average, though, clearly running a bit lower than early in 22. I think that this purple line will come down here for the rest of the year, be slightly lower. And I think there will continue to be additional pressure on condos because of this adjustment period that we're going through. Remember, next December 2024, condos have to have the correct amount of money in reserves. That is already somewhat of a requirement for mortgage companies, but they're slowly tightening more. But state of Florida said by then there has to be enough reserves. So many condo associations are doing 1 or 2 or 3 special assessments, and they're also raising condo fees. So keep that in mind. Folks, this is a better time to buy than it was a year or 2 ago, without a doubt. To sell, not as good of a time to sell. I don't care. I'm not one of these realtors that says, it's the greatest time to buy, it's the greatest time to sell. No, that's not how I operate. I tell you like it is. Still a good time to sell. You can still get a good number, but you're not going to get as much as you would have, or in particular with a condo, than you would have 2 years ago. It's okay. A year ago, I should probably say. That's all, folks. If you're buying or selling in South Florida, log on to lamacchiarealty.com. Thank you.